We talk about it a lot because it is absolutely everything. No idea of individuality can exist when you have a really deep understanding of the causality, that dependent arising, the interdependence of everything. Duality cannot exist in that understanding. Duality implies that there are things which stand apart from the entire web of interconnection, the entire web of causality. And we just can't find anything like that. There is nothing which is not part of this causal web. So be clear in this moment right here that this moment is conditioned. It is arising exactly as it does because it is the only way that it can happen, because of all of the conditions that have led up to it. But this is not the end point. This moment is conditioning the next. In Buddhism, they often use the metaphor of one candle lighting another candle. And is it the same flame? Is it a different flame? It is and it is not. Whatever is here right now is not a direct continuation of the you that came before it. But it's also not a completely independent, unconditioned existence. There are many aspects of experience that have led up to this particular experience being the way it is. It's what gives us the illusion of personality. That biological organism has a certain pattern of behavior that has cycled along because of conditioning and has made it so that that particular mind-body organism is more likely to react in one way than another. It's not guaranteed, but the conditioning is set up that that's mostly the prevalent sort of reaction. And because we see that in ourselves, because we have similar recurring thoughts over and over again, and again, because we have the faculty of memory that seems to be able to remember previous thoughts and tie them together and say, oh, yes, I've had this thought before. Oh, yes, I think about this sort of thing all the time. Oh, yes, I worry about that all the time. Yes, I'm just an anxiety prone type of person. Yes, I'm really good natured. I laugh all the time. I always find the good things in life. I'm an optimist. I always see the glass as half full. All of those ideas are because we have some sort of a faculty of memory that's able to remember cherry-picked instances when it seems like I have been an optimist. You have not always been an optimist. There are moments when you have not looked at things optimistically. There are moments when you have not been immediately jovial and charismatic. There have been times that you haven't been angry and raging off the handle at people. No matter what your sort of go-to personality is, it's not the only personality, right? It's not the only experience that you ever have. It's a potential, like if you have a bag of marbles and there are 90 red marbles and 10 blue marbles, it's a good chance that when you reach your hand in, you're going to pick out a red marble. There are more of them, a lot more of them. But it doesn't mean that you're not occasionally also going to pull out a blue marble, right? However, it is impossible that you are going to reach in and pull out a green marble because there are none in the bag. So for you, in your experience of whatever this mind-body organism is for you, there are certain experiences which are available and you routinely have them. Certain trains of thought, certain memories, certain patterns of interacting with other people, certain likes and dislikes, certain proclivities. Those are things which are like the red marbles. There's so many of them, they get used all the time. They're much more likely to occur. And then you have some traits which only pop out occasionally, depending on when you're with certain people, when you're in stressful circumstances, things where it's a little bit abnormal, but you've recognized them, you've been there before. It's still part of your personality or the potential of your personality. It's just not always there. And then there are some things that you just absolutely would never think of being able to do. They're just completely incomprehensible, right? We all have some of these things that is just so completely out of character for you that you would never ever be able to do it, at least in the current configuration. It's not to say that at some point a few of those green marbles won't find their way into the bag. But in its current configuration, there are aspects of personality that are easily accessible and much more likely to be triggered, some which are less likely to be triggered, and some which are just completely outside of the realm of possibility for now. None of that means that there is a real you in there who has that personality and who has always had that personality. It's just probability. Probability based on that karmic cycle of creation.
We have created a course of our first feather material. This course will walk you step by step through all of the ways in which identification is created and selfing happens. If you've been struggling to see through the self structure or have that first awakening shift, this course contains hundreds of tools to help you discover the selfing mechanisms when they're happening, and then see through the illusion of identification that are created. Along with over 14 hours of videos, this $49 course contains a full book worth of summaries, extrapolations on the videos, written inquiry suggestions, and other text. So work slowly, leave time for integration. This is powerful material and it can be life-changing.